Buckle up, we're talking about EOD. This video is brought to you by an anonymous sponsor. He's an EOD technician. He had his life saved by a VRC-40 and its crew and wanted to say thank you. If you don't know what EOD is, it stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. These are the guys from the movie The Hurt Locker. If you don't know what that is, they defuse bombs. Now, I realize I said that most people in the military are crazy, but this is a whole nother flavor of crazy altogether. You have to realize these men and women only get one bad day at work, and they do not fuck around. When these men and women show up on site, you feel like a little boy helping his dad in the garage. It's your job to hold the flashlight and shut the fuck up. An EOD technician that is actively defusing a bomb. One of the only other situations in the military I can think of that qualifies as what I would call medic level protection. One guy's watching the EOD tech, everyone else has their back to him with their guns pointed outward. They do not like even having people within eyeshot of the EOD technician while he's working. For several reasons. They do not want anybody watching so that they can remote detonate that explosive device. They also do not want anybody recording so they can learn how EOD technicians defuse bombs. If there's a car driving towards the EOD technician while he's working, the 50 cal gunner will cut that car in half. No one is getting to that guy. Anybody that tries is probably just going to end up being a giant earthworm playground. But all this is only for the big bombs. The unconventional stuff that doesn't happen day to day. See, what you probably don't realize is that the majority of the time, the best way to get rid of an explosive device is to blow it the fuck up. They do that a lot. Their favorite way to do it is just have everybody back up and shoot it with a 12 gauge shotgun. I'm not kidding. But sometimes we can turn it into a cool game. See, to make this video, I interviewed several EOD technicians. One of the questions I asked was, what was the funnest and or most unconventional way that you've ever detonated an IED? And those answers included, we would get in a tank and then use the tank to push a random car over the bomb and blow it up. We would get in a helicopter and duct tape a road flare to a propane tank and drop it near the bomb and then shoot at the propane tank. Sometimes they would just have the tank gunner shoot it. I'll give you another example. Danger Putty is edible, but it gives you the shits. It's also most commonly detonated using electricity. So when there's a new guy in the EOD club, we'd convince him that it was a rite of passage to eat a certain amount of angry Play-Doh. Then they would tell him not to get shocked or it may detonate. At which point they would all pull out tasers and chase him until he shit his pants. Because that's the type of morbid sense of humor you develop when it's your job to defuse bombs for a living. But it is because of that morbid sense of humor that they have an enormous set of testicles. And or ovaries. You see, this bomb suit right here is just for show. Usually the ordnance they are dealing with is so massive that they would be disintegrated whether they wore that thing or not. It's for that reason it's oftentimes just left in the truck. They figure if it's their time to go, they might as well do it not hot and sweaty. Now when I think about EOD, I think about Doc. While Doc may be willing to run through gunfire to save you, EOD is willing to roll the dice on getting dematerialized. It is because of that willingness to sacrifice themselves to save the grunts, that the grunts will protect them at all costs. In conclusion, whether their shoulder says EOD or the grunts call them DOC, just leave them alone because if they're not going home, neither are you.